Welcome back everyone to another episode of the No Suit Survival series. I just wanted to start off today by doing a little bit of painting here. I realized in the last episode that these were different colors, so that really bugs me, and I'd like these exterior parts to be all iced up and snowy. I think that looks, a little bit more appropriate for these external parts. I didn't do it on the engines because they're a combustion engine, so they'd be warm. So I don't think ice would really stick to them, unless this was legitimately the same temperature as Friendly Dendy Triton back in our solar system in reality, but I think that's a little unlikely, as I would not be able to survive that temperature even with a spacesuit. But I have added a small hydrogen tank to the underside of this cargo container, so that will let my hydrogen gas generators to fill up at the base, so I'll have, when I dock the fighter back in, I'll have some way to quickly resupply. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to let time pass until the day, and then I'm going to go and assault these assertive observers. So I'll see you in the morning. Just sit in my nice warm comfy cockpit here in case anything nasty comes along in the meantime. Good morning everyone. The sun has now risen, and I think we're ready to go and destroy some bad guys. So first thing I've got to do is I've got to make sure my hydrogen tanks aren't on stockpile, and then undock. And I think we should be good to go. I have no idea what that just shot at. Something over that way, but I don't have fuel for all the time. Now, I'm actually going to make sure that before I leave, I have enough fuel. So I did enter the cockpit from above, so if I step out, I should be safely on top of it. If I accidentally pop out of my control seat in mid-flight, which would be a bit suboptimal because I don't have a jetpack, I just go plummeting to the ground. Interestingly, those pipes aren't all frosty from a distance. It's a bit of a pity, but I guess that's just to save performance. So we'll dock back up, and I'm going to grab out some ice from the base, and we'll go into this ship and we'll fill it up. So we've got plenty of ammo. We'll fill up this, and I should have a connector as well, which will have some ammo. There we go. That's the one. So that's as much ammo as I can realistically carry without being too heavy. So now let's get going. So we'll head to this first observer that's 13 kilometers away. I can turn off my reverse thrusters so I can just sort of coast there a little bit more energy efficiently. And we'll see how we go. I think it's better to go fairly quickly because that means I have less flight time, which should conserve fuel in the long run. So let's see what we find. Over there's the first potential base. The ski slope and stuff that we drove past. And there's an enemy below us, so we'll go and engage that. Make sure our turret's on. Oh, I think that just... Did that just crash into the ground? Where's that coming? Yeah, no. I think that crashed into the ground. So I think that should be taken out. Yeah, I don't think that's not posing any threat to us anymore. So there's one observer over there. I'm actually going through my fuel a lot faster than I thought I would. Might need to redesign this or build an entirely new fighter. I was hoping it wouldn't go through that fast. I really don't have much time. But we'll see how we go. So we've just got a stationary tower over there. And there was another one somewhere. That must have spawned like behind me as I was driving across this little flat plane on the ice skate. So we'll get to... We can see what our stopping distance is in here. It's about 400 meters when the engines are running. Okay, so it's spawning new enemies now. Or is that just sort of sitting on the ground? I think that's sitting on the ground waiting to be destroyed. There we go. Just assassinate that. The observer has a little turret there. See if we can get rid of that. And some down there. Think they're taken out. So there's just that side turret there. Which is... We'll keep firing until it stops shooting, I guess. That looks like it's taken care of. Alright, let's go in and see if we can pick up any loot. So, I still have plenty of ammo. As you can see there, I've got 43 boxes. So we'll see what we can find. Just turn off my automatic turret because I think the space hasn't got any other weapons on it. We'll see what we can find. Those turrets don't appear to be destroyed, but I think they might have been set up with the previous warfare update, or the ammo types before the warfare update, so maybe they've just sort of run through that and had a bit of a problem there. So let's go and investigate. We'll just sit down, see how much ice we've got. We can see that in here. The ice, we've got 6.2k left. Maybe I should brighten those LCDs. It's a bit hard to see. Might need a light in there or something. So I'm basically just gonna scavenge for ammo. So I don't have much magnesium until I won't have much magnesium until I rebuild that mining drone. Go mining for magnesium again. So make sure that these turrets aren't functional. Let's go see what we've got. Now, it had ammo. It just wasn't shooting at me for some reason. So just quickly go and scavenge all of these. So these are rapid fire ammo and regular ammo. What about this one? Let's see if we can just destroy it with our hand rifle. Pick up anything that comes out. And that's just regular rifle ammo again. Let's have a look-see. So locked door here, and I don't think there's another turret, but let's make sure I don't grind down the piece that I'm standing on. I'll just grind this from the side. Man, I really need a better grinder. Unfortunately, I need platinum for that. I might be able to get some at the trade station, but I won't get any unless I go into space. Looks like we're clear. There's a control station here. I've got the quick hacking mod on, so if I rebuild that, it might give me control of the base, depending on if there's any other control surfaces. But we can see if there's anything in these lockers, perhaps. Yeah, some medkit, that might come in handy. Nothing in these. There's a little bit of poetry, apparently. Is that in this bed? Nope, it's in the other one. What have we got here? There once was a man from Nantucket, then he moved. I think he's dead now, something something cow. I think this entry probably didn't go very far. We'll just check what's behind this door, if anything. There was another observer, so I'm hoping... Oh, okay, it's just a bathroom. So there was another observer, and I'm hoping I can spot that. And that's the remote control module. I don't want to break that because it'll explode. There was supposed to have been another tower. I can't see anything right now. My ship should have been refueling, I believe, very slowly. This generator's on. And the tanks are, yeah, filling very slowly. So I'm definitely going to need to add extra H2O2 generators to this if I want to use it long term. Because that was just a short flight and it's already used up about a third of its fuel, which is just really not good enough. What's that Pilgrim's Curiosity over there? See if I can spot that. Oh, that's definitely big, whatever it is. It appears to be a crashed ship. A large-scale crashed ship. We'll go and fly over here. Ah, yes, it's a Pilgrim's Curiosity. Okay. Well, I think I'll leave these crashed ships as set pieces. I don't intend on sort of scavenging them and grinding them all down for parts because that feels a little bit cheatsy. But it is nice to have something extra sort of dotting landscape here and there. I'm going to go up and see if I can spot that other observer. So that's the potential base location. Well, it looks like the world scene might have corrected itself. It appears to not be a sheer cliff anymore. So that, yeah, that was the place that I wrote off as not a good spot to be. I can't see any other observers. There's just that station down there. I think we can safely leave that be and just go and have a look. I'll just keep my eye out for a radar blip of any other observers. Keep a close eye on my hydrogen supply. Oh yeah, this mountain's looking great. It's definitely the one of choice. So we'll find a nice spot for our base, make a GPS waypoint. and then we'll think about how we want to get across to that. I'll probably come along in a large rover, perhaps? I'm thinking about how I want to build it, because at this altitude I probably can't breathe. At the altitude that I want to build it. So I'll need to be building it in some sort of vehicle. Whether that be a flying vehicle or like a welding truck kind of thing. I'll decide on which side I want to make the base and which one I want the like cable car to go to. Down to 50% fuel. I think the left side there is probably where I'll build my cable car. This is actually one big mountain range, is it? Looks like a big area. Okay, I think I'm going to build it in this area. That looks pretty good. And then the cable car I'll build across. So, where's going to be the best spot? I would like it to be rover accessible. I think, yeah, I'll build across to that one with the cable car, and I'll flatten this out with the drone, I reckon. I'll build sort of like an indent, and then I can have a bit of a, and I can dig out like a pathway to drive back down that way. So I'll set a couple GPS waypoints where I want everything. Although this isn't very wide. I would like it to be a bit wider. Wider than the fighter, at least. So maybe this is the mountain I want to build into? And I could even build like a cable car across there and another one across there and sort of have 3 peaks. Although I can't really drive down this part. I could in this area. This is a nice sheltered area which I could like dig a sort of square into. I think this is probably where I'll go for, although it's a bit steep. Oh dear, it's a tough decision. Let's park this ship. Should be able to attach my landing gear here. There we go. Now the question is, can I breathe up here, or is this too high? I seem to be able to breathe here. Let's go for a bit of a walk around and see how high we can go. So that's interesting, because it does look like it's about the same height. Maybe if I climb up this one, we'll see if it's too high or not. No, it seems to be okay here as well. Oh, this is really hilly. Keep an eye on that ship. Well, this is technically rover accessible. And then I could build the like hangar on the reverse side, fly ships out that way, and then drive down this side. I think that's probably what I'll do. And then I could have a couple cable cars to like a turret over there, a turret over there. And then I'll build my facility into this big flat-ish area. So I'll need to carve out like basically just a cube into this mountain. And then I can just drive down this slope in the middle. The alternative is I could go and keep looking for other base locations. I did want to see if this higher peak is outside of the oxygen range. There are some other potential sites. Let's go and have a look at this one over here. See if this one's too high or not. That one looks pretty cool. They're just the peaks are just a bit too sharp. I wish there was more of a flat area that I could build on. My fuel is getting pretty dangerously low. Let me just park up here. I might need to go back to base and refuel. Just a sec. Yeah, I'm most likely going to need to do that. There we go. So let's hop out, see. Is this too high? No? Well, maybe something has gone weird with the planet generation. If that world seam is cleaned up as well. So that's where I just was. I'm gonna mark that out. We'll make a second potential base location marker, and then I'll go fuel up and continue looking. So I'm not 100% sold on this just yet. That's looking pretty good over there. This one's just a bit too spiky. So let's go and make a waypoint here. It's getting dangerously low on fuel. There we go. GPS potential base 2. The question is, do I have enough fuel to get back home? Probably not. How much ice do I have? I've got 1.6k, so I'm just going to wait for that to refuel, and I'll see you guys in a bit, and then just fly back to my base with the fuel and hope I have enough. Okay, so that's more or less used all of the ice, so let's see if we can get back home before we run out of fuel. Let's just try and be as fuel efficient as possible on our way back. I hope and pray that we have enough. Not going to run into any enemies. So let's just start dropping down now. Oh dear, that's going to be very close. Ooh, coming in a bit fast. Ooh. Oh, just... oh god, I've got to run out of fuel, I think. Down to 2%, 1%. Alright, let's just make an emergency landing. There we go, it just barely ran out of fuel. God, yeah, that ship is a little bit unwieldy, which is a shame. Even after all of the hydrogen tanks that I've built into it, it just runs out of fuel so easily, which is really just not... It's a real shame. Got some rapid fire ammo. Drop that off, drop that off, drop these off. I don't need these. Keep the med kits. Got plenty of food and water still. I think this is fine for ammo. Just grab a few more. And then a bunch of ice. Let's chuck this in. Go. That should give us enough to get back. I'm not locked, I don't think. No. My hydrogen thrust is broken? Didn't take any damage. Dampeners are on. Interesting. I might just need to wait for it to fuel up. Might actually be filling my oxygen. It's not filling these up at all. Is it going through the ice though? It is. Why isn't anything getting to the thrusters? Oh, I get it, yeah. It's using them up because the dampeners are on. Okay. Back up to 6%, so let's go and redock up. There we go. We'll put our tank. Let's have a look at the tank. So this is the one on the base, and yeah, it should be filling these up. So we'll set these onto stockpile. See how much of the tank that uses. So to fill up this whole ship takes about 50% of that base's tank. Oh, that is so bad. I was really hoping it would be a bit more efficient than that. Yeah, dear. Alright, let's go test out scouting on that atmospheric ship instead. See if we can get a bit further this time. So that's fully charged. Dampness. Oh god. Yeah. Yeah, I should have expected that. Alright, scratch that plant. We'll go on the hydrogen ship. I can fill that in with concrete later. I had no problems using the ice skate on this. Why is it giving me so much trouble now? This has been a very odd session. Okay. So we'll make sure we've got enough ice. which we're going through at an alarming rate. Connector. Right. I could fill up those small cargo containers, but they just don't really carry anything much at all. So there isn't much point. So let's just go up, see what we find. So we've got the other potential base. I'm going to have a quick scout of this one. So I ended up not actually going with this particular space. I was scouting over it for a little while, but I couldn't really find anywhere that I particularly wanted to build on. It was just a little bit too rigid in parts, and as you'll see when I go over the edge of this mountain, I actually come into a place that's pretty much in night for the whole time, so working in the day just wouldn't be very good. There'd be no lighting or anything like that. So I end up just scouting around here for a little bit, don't really find anywhere interesting. The hills are also a little bit too shallow. There's no really like great places to build a cable car, and especially none that are in light. I could build one around this area, but it's dark for pretty much the whole day, so I ended up not wanting to do that. And here I'm just going back to the first point, point one, base point one, to test the oxygen. And I actually found out that it turns out it's got to do something with the curvature of the planet or something like that, which changes the altitude. So this one actually is a lot higher than base point two. So I'll land here. Okay. Yeah, so the oxygen is too low to breathe here as well. That's very odd. But not with the other one. They really don't look like they're that different in terms of height. Alright, let's go fuel up again. Okay. Let's go again. If I go up really high, we'll be able to have a better look. I could technically fly into space with this shit. So where have we got? Keep going up. It must have to do with the curvature of the planet. I can't see any other reason why there wouldn't be any atmosphere. Although that is pretty high. Yeah, no, that's got to be higher. Although you can very clearly see the curvature of the planet here. Well, we didn't check out that area, so that's a possibility. Could check out that area. That mountain range is a little low. Let's go check out this mountain over here. make a bit of a pit stop here so we can fuel up. If I can get those landing gear to lock or not. Doesn't look like it. Appears to be just sliding down. We don't really want that. Let's go somewhere a little bit more flat. Let's see if we can lock to the ground here. There we go, that's what we want. Alright, I'm just gonna sort of sit here and fill this up. It'll probably take all night to refuel, unfortunately. We'll see what happens. Alright, we're refueled and we're ready to go back home. Ish. Hopefully we can go there. I have been having while this has been fueling up, I have been having a look around at some of the other mountains on Triton, just with the spectator camera. I knew I said I wouldn't, but it's just it's too difficult to go flying around like that without really like abusing the game's physics and building a ship with a clang drive or something that can just get around so incredibly efficiently. So what I have been doing is I've been looking around, and none of the mountains that I've seen really suit what I want, but the potential base location 2 actually does have it's got like 3 peaks really clustered close together, and it has enough of a slope that it would be easy enough to drive up and down. So I think that even though it's a bit low in the atmosphere and it does still have oxygen, that's the kind of trade-off. You either have mountains that are too steep to build anything on and they have no oxygen, and then you have mountains that are somewhat steep but still do have oxygen. So unfortunately, I'm going to be going with potential base location 2, and that's just going to have the best options for me for building a base, really. It's rover accessible, and it's got all the things that I really need, so yeah, we're going to do that. And to take all my parts there, I think the best option is going to be building a rover for it. I'm basically going to build a mobile base, I think, which I'll drive there and then deconstruct when I've got there. But it will have enough cargo space to bring everything with me, and enough cargo space to run the mining drone, because I'm going to use the mining drone basically to flatten out a few areas, just to make them a little bit more drivable and comfortable. Just look a lot better. And I'll also be using it to dig the hole into the mountain where I'm going to be building my base. So I'll get back to the base, and I think then we'll probably call it an episode. Although I did see the observer over that way. The other one that I was looking for is in that direction. It's just not showing up, so it must not be activated. It was just the one observer that was sending enemies toward me, I think. There does appear to be something over there. Looks like it could be another observer base. So with my large grid rover that I will build, I'll need to put some weapons on it. Yeah, there it is. It's on the other side of the mountain. So I'm going to need to take that out. Maybe I'll end the episode on taking that other base out, I reckon. Should have enough. The gas generators on the base should have built up enough hydrogen in the time to hopefully fill this up most of the way. Should be just enough fuel to get everything done. And then I'm good. Yeah, I'm gonna have to rebuild the mining drone just to get ice. So let's see, how much fuel have we got in the base? Oh, nice. Looks like a full tank. Wasn't actually expecting that. I really can't have much left. Yeah, I've gone through all the ice now, so yeah, that's what we'll do. We'll go check out this base, and that'll be that. Got incoming enemies. Oh no, it's just running on a patrol by the looks of it. Maybe it hasn't even noticed me yet. See if we can come in and give these guys a bit of a vengeance for the sneak attacks, hey? Hasn't noticed me yet. Still not quite coming toward me. That base has only got a small turret there. Oh, there we go. Now we're engaging. Oh, getting shot at from the base. Taking some hits. I don't think we've taken too much damage. No, it's only superficial. So let's come in and have a little bit of a clean up here. Get rid of this antenna. Let's see what plunder this base has. Something above. Just I'll just build a little scaffold up to it. Should have some bullets maybe? Or have they dropped in here? Oh, there they are on the ground. That's what we want. Don't think this base has any other turrets on it. No, it doesn't look like it. So let's see if there's anything out here. The wreckage of this Sparrow. I think it's just a whole bunch of scrap. I don't see any turrets or anything. So let's grind down that cargo container and see if that's got any goodies for us.
Inventory full.
What have you got? You've just got more ammo. That's nice. Alright, let's drop all this junk off that we don't need. Is that a... Well, there's a locker in there. We can see if that has anything valuable.
Inventory full.
No, nothing. Okay, that's fine. Anything in these chairs? I don't think so.
Inventory full.
Let's see.
Inventory full.
No, nothing. Okay. So that's that taken care of. So we'll return to base and that will be the end of it. We'll make sure to have a nice and hideous rover. Something that's purely just there for function. Now we could go and store this all the way in the large cargo container. I'll keep that medkit on me, it'd be useful. There's organics and stuff I can put in here, which hopefully hasn't been broken by me messing around here. Oh yeah, that's where we'll call it a day. we've had a pretty successful episode, found out where we're going to end up. It was the place that I did see before, looked really promising, so yeah, we're just going to go with that one. It unfortunately doesn't meet all our criteria, but yeah, what can you do? It's just a problem of the planet size being too small. Maybe if I spawned in like a separate Triton that was larger, it might have some better terrain, but I think just because of the size of the planet, it's unfortunately got peaks that are just too spiky and you can't really build anything satisfying on. But yeah, we'll call that a day. I'll rebuild this mining drone off camera and get some more ice and fuel up and whatnot. So I'll get all the resources ready for building a rover, and then we'll build that in the next episode and head on over. So see ya until next week.